Jennifer as always. So we've got a special treat today for our non-horror movie of the week. We are talking about the 1987 classic, The Princess Bride. Yes, The Princess Bride. One of my all-time favorite movies ever, along with probably a lot of you. Such fond memories of this movie. Terrific cast. Listen to this cast. So we have Cary Elwes as Westley, who is our little farm boy. Mandy Patinkin, I can never say his last name right, so I'm sorry, as Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Yes. Robin Wright as Buttercup, Princess Buttercup. Chris Sarandon as Prince Humperdinck. Hello. How many freaking movies has Chris Sarandon been in? I feel like he's been in everything. Just saying. We also have Christopher Guest as Count Reagan, Wallace Shawn as Vinzi, Carol Kane as Valerie, Billy Crystal as Miracle Max, and, of course, most of all, we have Andre the Giant as Fezzik. Probably, if you are not a wrestling fan, probably the most notable way that you know him is from The Princess Bride and everything. Oh my god. And first off, let me just say, I adore the cast and crew of this movie, because I have never heard any of them say anything negative about Andre the Giant. Just all these positive things about him, and just how much of a great human being he was, and just someone who just wanted to be kind of part of the gang and part of the group, and they kind of really accepted him. So that entire cast and crew, thank you for that, because, yeah, that's all Andre wanted to be, was just kind of like be a normal human being. So, but with that being said, let's go ahead and crack into this. So, I mean, basically this movie, most of us know what it's about. It's about Westley, who is, like I said, he's a little farmhand and everything to Buttercup. Buttercup is a commoner, as she is kind of referred to later by Prince Humperdinck, who will eventually try and marry her and everything. Wesley is totally, like, in love with her. Like, all he ever says to her is, as you wish, as you wish, as you wish. Basically, I mean, that's all he needs to say, because it's, like, basically, he knows he could kind of, like, spout all these things of, like, like, I'm gonna promise you this, I'm gonna promise you that, but no, it's just, he's there to do whatever she needs him to do. Like, whatever it is, he's not gonna complain about it. She pretty quickly realizes, like, oh my god, like, this is the person I love. Well, things happen where he has to kind of, like, take off or whatever, and he's like, I'll be back, like, no matter what, I will return for you. Well, little does she realize that Westley ends up kind of getting, like, kidnapped by, like, pirates and stuff. She thinks he's dead, so she's kind of, like, she's very much heartbroken about this. She's never loved anyone else, but now this opportunity has come along where Prince Humperdinck kind of has found her, this, like, commoner and everything, this common folk and everything, and figures, like, hey, I'm a prince, like, what girl doesn't want a prince, and decides, hey, I'm gonna marry her. She wants nothing to do with him, but at the same time, she still thinks that her beloved Westley is dead, and, she figures, like, you know what, if I can't have anyone, I guess I'll sort of, like, marry this prince, like, especially to where, this is kind of set in a time where it's like, you kind of have to get married, because if you don't, then you just are pretty much outcasted by everyone else. And so, and of course, everyone kind of thinks, like, oh my god, what a fairy tale, like, wedding, like, oh my god, like, you had nothing, you were poor, you were dirt poor, you were poorer than dirt, and now you've got, like, this prince who wants to marry you, but she could care less, she's miserable. She even got to a point, at one point in the movie, where she's like, I would rather, kill myself than marry you and everything, so yeah, she just doesn't want to, like, marry him. But, Wesley, of course, out of nowhere, he is the Man in Black now, and he is trying to get back to his beloved Buttercup. So he, this whole sort of, like, movie is his journey, trying to get Buttercup back and everything. She saves he saves her from Indigo. Oh my god, I just lost my page. Why did I close that? So he basically saves her because she was kidnapped from Fezzik, Vinzi, and I just said his name, Inigo Montoya. So he's trying to like save her from them and all this and everything. Vizio though, Vinzini ends up actually getting killed, unfortunately, because he drank the poison and everything. But Fezzik and Inigo do survive and everything. Plus two, Inigo, while Wesley is trying to get Buttercup back, Inigo has his own sort of like beef that he wants to settle, his little score to settle and everything, because a six-fingered man killed his father. So he's trying to like track him down. And we come to find out that Christopher Guest's character is the one who killed his father. So they, Andre the Giant and Mandy Patinkin's characters, even though they were initially like enemies with Wesley, they realize like, hey, he's really like, a pretty decent person. He's trying to get like his woman back. Let's team up and let's go ahead and take down this freaking like prince and everything and his little like sidekick and everything, because yeah, why not? So yeah, it is a nice little like message of like, unity and everything, and look past your differences and team up together to take down an empire. Just saying. So, but yeah, I mean, all ends well and everything. Everyone kind of gets their revenge. Wesley gets his girl and everything. Everyone's happy. But yeah, this is just like a perfect little movie to watch because it's got a little bit of everything. It's got your little bit of a love story. It's got your fairy tale. It's got your like adventure and everything. Your sort of like medieval adventure and everything. You got some good fights and everything. And it's a classic, timeless story and everything, and it's got a literal giant. It has a literal giant. And like when I did my little review on the Andre the Giant documentary, I kind of had said like, like back in the day, if you needed someone who's like a giant or someone to like play like a beast, you pretty much used Andre the Giant. Like this role, I'm pretty sure this like is pretty literal too, that this literally was written for Andre the Giant. I think the writer actually had, and I think even Rob Reiner kind of had Andre the Giant sort of in their minds for him to play this character. I know at some point Arnold Schwarzenegger was really interested in playing that same part and everything, but by the time they went on to film it, he was already too much of a big star, wanted too much money and everything. And you know what? Honestly, I'm really glad that Arnold Schwarzenegger was not Andre the Giant's character Fezzik, because I mean I like Arnold Schwarzenegger and everything, but truly, honestly, if you're gonna need a giant to play, or to have someone play a giant, you go with Andre the Giant. And it's he did it so well. He was perfect, and you just like this is very much true with Andre for most of his wrestling career, where it's like you saw him and you just wanted to root for him. He was just that type of human being, because he was just such an amazing person. It definitely comes across on the screen like that. Where it's kind of like, yeah, he might have been misused and stuff to benefit someone else for his strength and everything, but at the end of the day, he really didn't want to like harm anyone. He just really wanted to help people and everything. I even like towards the end when they're about to go storm the castle and everything, the little scene where like Mandy Patinkin and Andre the Giant revive Carrie Elways' character Wesley after being like pretty much electrocuted almost to death. He's mostly dead, but not all dead, according to Miracle Max. Like Andre would kind of like, move him a little bit, and just like little things like, like Wesley kind of finally like moved a pinky or whatever, and Andre's like, you moved the pinky. Like, oh my god, you should be so happy. Like little things like that. Like he just was always trying to be positive, always trying to look on the bright side about things. And I feel like that is really kind of how Andre the Giant as a person was in real life. So yeah. An interesting fact too, because by this point this was released 6 years before before Andre the Giant passed. So by this point, like he was in so much like pain and everything. His body was really kind of like giving out on him because just all this stuff. Because I mean, like honestly, like by this point when he did this movie, Andre the Giant really technically should not have still been alive. Like I know the doctors over the course of his life were kind of always telling him like, well, you're not going to live past 20, you're not going to live past 25, you're not going to live past 30, you're not going to live past 40. Did end up passing away when he was like 46, so it's like it was almost always like he was on borrowed time. His body definitely by this point, between wrestling and everything and just his disease, was so like, it was just kind of like almost like shutting down on a daily basis at this point. So to a point where he really couldn't like do sort of like the wrestling sort of scenes like with Carrie Elways, when he has his little like showdown with him. He really couldn't do much with that. And even when he catches Robin Wright like in his arms, she's like, yeah, I didn't even weigh like 100 pounds during that movie. But, so I was a tiny little thing. And to him, someone like him, I really probably should have felt like I was like 5 pounds. But, his back, and he was in so much pain and everything that they literally had to put her on like wires and almost like lure her down and really like not put any weight in his arms. Like that's how bad of shape he was in. But he was such a trooper about this movie. You would not have guessed by his performance that he was in so much pain. Like he was phenomenal in this. But yeah, but this whole movie is just like, it's such a fun good time. Like I said, it's got a little bit of something for everyone. It's got a little like love story for us girls. It's got some like good action sequences and everything for the guys. But it's such like I'm thinking about it and I'm just getting like the warm fuzzies inside with just how much I enjoy and love this movie. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. For those of you who have not, I know you would think that everyone in the world has already seen this, but I brought this movie up yesterday to one of the girls at work, and she's like, I've never seen this movie. So there are people who have not seen this movie. I know. But if you have not seen this movie, watch this damn movie right now. I'm just saying. So, but anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you. Let me know what you think of The Princess Bride in the comments. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.